So if you've seen Jim Carrey in an interview lately, you've probably been left, well, a little confused, right? The rubber-faced comedian who pretty much owned the 90s has been saying some really out there stuff. It's got a lot of us wondering what on earth happened to him. So let's get into it and trace the story behind his incredible transformation.
It all seemed to bubble up during these bizarre red carpet interviews. Okay, so picture this. He's at a New York Fashion Week party, a party that's literally meant to celebrate icons. A reporter asks him why he's there, and his response is this. He's not celebrating anything. In fact, he claims he doesn't even exist.
And oh, it did not stop there. Next, he drops this little gem. It sounds completely nihilistic, right? You can just imagine the confusion, and honestly, the concern that started spreading for one of Hollywood's most beloved stars.
And then the final piece of the puzzle that just left everyone's head spinning. He just dismisses the whole thing. The party, the fashion, the celebrity. He says it's all an illusion. So what is going on here?
This is the big question, isn't it? Is this some kind of public breakdown we're all watching, or is it a profound breakthrough? To really understand what he's saying now, we have to go back. We have to look at where this all started for him.
Jim Carrey's early life wasn't about red carpets and fame. Not even close. In fact, it was the total opposite. And that struggle is absolutely essential to understanding the man he's become today.
Seriously, try to put yourself in his shoes for a second. Your dad, who you think is the smartest, most capable guy in the world, loses his quote-unquote safe job. And just like that, your whole family, all 7 of you, are homeless. You're living out of a VW camper van for 6 months, and the entire family works together as janitors just to scrape by. That kind of pressure, that instability, it becomes the bedrock of your whole worldview.
But here's what's so fascinating. The lesson Jim took from this absolutely devastating time, it didn't come from some eventual success. Nope, it came directly from watching his father fail.
This is the sentence that changed his entire life. Think about it. He watched his father, a man who he believed could have been a brilliant comedian, take the practical route as an accountant, only to fail at it anyway. The lesson was crystal clear. If failure is always on the table, why not risk everything for the thing you're passionate about?
So he took that chance, and boy did it pay off. Bigger than anyone could have possibly imagined. But with all that incredible success came a brand new problem. He created this massive public persona, this mask that he could never, ever seem to take off.
You see, there have always been 2 Jim Carreys. On one side, you have the goofball, right? The human cartoon from Ace Ventura and The Mask that made him a global superstar. But on the other side, there's this deeply thoughtful, complex artist who's exploring really serious themes in movies like The Truman Show and through his own pretty amazing paintings.
And here's the catch. The goofball character was so powerful, so popular, that it basically became a prison. He got completely typecast. Audiences just couldn't separate the man from the mask, and a lot of times they just dismiss his serious work because it wasn't the Jim Carrey they paid to see.
And this, right here, brings us to the very heart of his transformation. He realized that if he ever wanted to find real peace, he had to let go of the character of Jim Carrey altogether. And that meant he had to start deconstructing the very idea of a self.
So he starts talking a lot about the ego, and not in some dry academic way. For him, the ego is just this collection of labels that we're all given. Your job, your nationality, your name, your stories. We think that's who we are, but he believes it's not real. And holding on to it, that's the source of all our pain.
The huge light bulb moment for him was playing the comedian Andy Kaufman. He got so deep into that role that he felt like he literally became Andy Kaufman. And when he came out of it, he had this incredible realization. If he could become Andy, then Jim Carrey must also just be a character he's been playing his whole life. He realized the real him was something far beyond all those personalities.
So this is where he lands. This is his conclusion. Underneath all the masks, underneath all the characters we play, we aren't actually separate people. We're all just part of one single consciousness, a giant field of energy just experiencing itself. And that's why he says there is no me. He's not talking about his body. He's talking about that ego, that character he created.
Okay, so that's all pretty deep, pretty spiritual stuff. But what's the takeaway? What are we supposed to do with all this? Well, in this incredible commencement speech, he boiled his entire life's philosophy down to one simple, powerful choice that every one of us has to make, every single day. According to Jim, every single decision you make, big or small, it all comes from one of 2 places. It's not about good and evil or right and wrong. It's actually much simpler than that. The choice is always between love and fear.
Fear is doing what's practical to avoid failure, just like his dad did. It's hiding who you really are because you're worried about what people might think. But love is taking that chance on what you're passionate about. It's having the courage to be seen for who you truly are. As he says, hope is a beggar, walking through the fire, but faith leaps over it.
And this really is the core of his whole message. That constant need we have to be liked, to fit in, to get approval. He's saying it can literally make you invisible. It can erase the real you. He's begging all of us to stop hiding behind the mask and just let that true self, that inner light shine through, no matter what happens.
So when you look at the whole story, it's not really about a comedian losing his mind. It's a story about a man trying to dismantle a character he built just to survive. And it leaves us with a question that's both really simple and incredibly hard. What character are you playing? And are you brave enough to find out who's really underneath?